Which of Godzilla's greatest foes wasn't actually born, but rather made? More specifically, one of Godzilla's most prominent antagonists was once designed as a weapon to combat the king of the monsters, and it's not the Mechagodzilla model, nor is it a fully mechanical variant of any known monster. But today, fellow heralds of the Titans, let's discuss the story of Gigan, the partially artificial life form specifically designed to conquer the forces of Earth. Gigan's first appearance was in the Toho project Godzilla vs. Gigan, and in this timeline, humans are not alone in the universe. In fact, in several different eras of Godzilla lore across various generations, monsters routinely find themselves face to face with alien interference. Many of the kaiju have been mind-controlled or manipulated by external forces that are not native to the planet Earth, and Gigan is the product of one of these agendas. In this case, Gigan was designed by a species simply known as the Nebulans, who are cockroach-like insectoid beings who hail from the M Space Hunter Nebula. On their as of yet unnamed world, they had to watch their predecessors destroy the planet through industrial pollution, utterly ravaging the climate and ensuring that the Nebulans were the only species capable of surviving there. Because of this, they began to search the galaxy for another habitable world, one where they could relocate their species, and in the process, they came across a little-known world as Earth. When they saw what humans were doing to the environment and the planet, they recognized the shadow of their ancestors, as they had destroyed their world in a similar fashion. So in their mind, they were saving the planet from humanity, creating a new utopian society. But in order to do this, they had to eradicate human life from this world. Thus was created the creature known as Gigan for the job, who was a hybridized monstrosity of organic and cybernetic matter. Gigan has organic properties like the spikes that run down his tail and the claws used for combat, but also has a number of mechanical properties, including a synthetic visor in place of his eyes, and several large hooks, and even a saw within his torso. In the Toho version of events, his first invasion of Earth saw him being sent down to Tokyo alongside the Nebulan's other organic weapon, the beast King Ghidorah. In Godzilla Final Wars, however, he was revealed to be an ancient evil, one who was sent to the planet by the Zillions over 12,000 years ago, where they first faced off with the being known as Mothra. In this continuity, Gigan was mummified following his defeat, and left dormant for several thousand years. Regardless of the continuity though, there seems to be one prominent through line that connects most of his iterations. That is the fact that he is almost never autonomous, and in most of these storylines, he is under the control of a larger threat. In Godzilla vs. Gigan, he was quite literally remotely controlled by the Nebulans on his conquest, and was only stopped when a human assault managed to sever the link between the Nebulans and the Titans. Left disoriented and confused, the two were eventually overpowered by the combined efforts of Godzilla and Anguirus, but he had no control over the situation, and Gigan had lost his free will. A year later in Godzilla vs. Megalon, the Cetopians requested aid from the Nebulans for their assault on the surface world of Earth, and yet again, Gigan was the kaiju commissioned into battle where he had no say. Gigan was nothing more than a conscripted soldier called to fight whenever and wherever his next master wanted him to go, and in some cases, he was even directly influenced by mind control. In the Millennia era, Gigan gets more control over his actions, but is still acting at the behest of a larger power, and while he's less often outright mind controlled, this is perhaps the era where he has the most autonomy. In Godzilla Final Wars, when it was reawakened from his mummification, it was the Zillions which again activated Gigan, creating a mindless asset to turn him on planet Earth. Final Wars is perhaps where we find the darkest iteration of this theme of control, as he has passed between cultures and forms repeatedly. After his first battle with Godzilla, he is decapitated by the King of the Monsters, and the Zillions are not done with him yet. They enhance him with cybernetic attachments and transform him into a modified Gigan. This version had much more conventional technological weaponry that he never asked for, and this lack of autonomy, however, only made Gigan more vicious and violent towards Godzilla, blaming him for the alterations. In the Showa era, various descriptions are given regarding some of Godzilla's most prominent foes. Mechagodzilla is described as cold and calculating, always thinking through his next attack. Ghidorah is described as composed and a dignified villain. Gigan, though, when he isn't under mind control of anyone else, is a bloodthirsty slaughterer who wants nothing more than vengeance. He is not only happy to use these cybernetic cheats to his advantage, but he has been known to fight dirty in order to end the battle quickly and brutally. On several occasions, he has continued to attack an opponent while they are down, while most of the monsters in these respective iterations are much more respectful. As a general rule, kaiju understand when a fight is over, and they see honor in conceding to the alpha when they have truly been defeated. But Gigan does not follow any of these principles, and has no sense of honor. Gigan at heart is a bully and a villain. He is not some ancient titan hero who was under the control of those more malevolent. He is vicious, brutal, bloodthirsty, a true villain. He enjoys fighting those that are weaker than him. But this also has a flip side. In some iterations, perhaps most prominently in the Showa era, Gigan is afflicted with a certain cowardice when the fight is not going his way. Gigan has no problem fighting against enemies who are weaker than him, and he enjoys slaughtering those who are smaller. But he's not so tough when the fight drifts into equal footing. When the tide begins to turn against him, he has been seen running away rather than mustering the courage to test his limits. He has even abandoned his allies in many of these scenarios, leaving the fight and leaving his teammates to suffer the brutality of Godzilla. This makes him one of the more unreliable titans when he is fighting alongside someone else, because he will not hesitate to sell out other monsters. Something else that is highlighted is he is nowhere strong as he thinks he is. He enjoys defeating monsters that he knows he can have an easy time with, so they make him feel powerful. As of now, we don't have any concrete evidence of alien presence in the Monsterverse, but given how prevalent they are in various versions of the extended material, and with the appearance of Ghidorah, it's not unreasonable to believe that they may eventually make their debut. With them, we might encounter a cybernetic force known as Gigan, though we will have to wait and see which iterations of Gigan may take inspiration from, if he ever does make his leap into the Monsterverse. There have even been some theories that perhaps the Mutos are aliens themselves, and that Gigan is a cybernetically enhanced Muto, and a sort of final boss of an alien race that they can unleash upon Earth. Although we have a later video planned on why the Mutos might be aliens, and could be extraterrestrial in origin, not abiding by the balance of the Earth, it is possible that Gigan is a cybernetically enhanced Muto that is being turned against Godzilla, a sort of final boss of the Muto race, if you will. But anyway, my friends, what do you think of the story of Gigan? What are your thoughts on how he has always been evil and nefarious even before his cybernetic enhancements, and how his true form is brutal, arrogant, cowardice, and enjoys slaughtering lesser titans? Did you know about this brutal dark history of Gigan? And if not, leave your thoughts down below. And as a big question, do you prefer the cybernetic puppet of Gigan, or the evil, vile creature who enjoys butchering titans? As always, my friends, hit that subscribe button to enjoy more kaiju and superhero lore, and have a great day.